Burning Wheel RnD and Golden Age. Like they're pretty good on the cams, except I'm not on the overlay, which I'll fix in a minute.
You're not on the overlay?
Yeah, I didn't put myself in the overlay somehow. That's weird.
Okay.
Oh, I don't understand. I'll fix it.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. And yeah, we are continuing our Torchbearer game that we started last session. And I believe we could do a recap.
It's part of the rules.
Yes.
But there are rules for that. So I think we should choose a specific person to do it
Okay.
instead of just doing it casually.
So I didn't do a good job of putting the screws to you guys last time. I don't think anybody has any tap nature or conditions. So rest assured this time I will make up for that.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, I thought Torchbearer was harder than this.
Yeah, well, go ahead, poke the tiger.
My character kneels on the ground and yells at the sky, saying, "Strike me down."
I dare you, God.
Yeah.
I mean, I took foolish, and then I doubled down foolish. So you better expect some foolish behavior from me.
All right.
Most excellent.
Good. Excellent. So yeah, if anybody wants to give the prologue, you're just doing it for fun this time around. But in the future, the optimal choice to give the prologue to somebody is somebody that has a condition that you want relieved or wants to recover some tax nature.
Correct.
I think the key point here is that you can't do it twice in a row.
Exactly.
Correct. You kind of do it
So if
twice in a
someone
row.
recaps today and then royally gets a number of conditions,
Yeah, not it.
So whoever wants to roll them dice.
Maybe I should, so that if I can possibly avoid stuff next session. I have decent wises for avoiding stuff. Plus, I also cook the food.
That's fair.
Right. So last session we created our characters, got a short rundown on the world, which is standard Torchbearer worlds basically. There are elves, there are dwarves. Our players gave some exposition on what those were like in terms of the details, and we set off towards. We were told that there were some. Do you want to take us to the map?
Oh, sure.
We can show on the actual stream. But basically, there are 3 locations marked with. I believe caravans have gone missing between towns, like shipments of goods for trade and stuff like that. Our job is to find out why, because the towns are kind of in trouble from like low on supplies, and yeah, that would be bad if it kept happening. We're trying to find out why. So we went to one of the caravans, found some, found their like strange arrows, and found tracks. We followed said, and then basically we went down into that area to the swamp where we are now. And found us some 2 little gnolls. We were expecting gnolls. We had we figured it out basically that it would be probably gnolls, and we ran into 2 of them. And currently we are in discussion with them. And no, that's not a joke. We're actually in a discussion with them. We're not fighting them. We are trying to convince them to tell us where their boss is or their stuff is. I can't remember what we said for the conflict. And we have almost convinced them that they do not want to fight us because they would die. Basically, they are hungry, they are injured, and so we figured we could finish them off really easily, but it's more interesting to get information from them instead. So we are doing that. Yeah.
And I will clarify, I was a little unclear on this point last time. When you pathfindered your way down the trail, your cleric decided to say, oh, those crows are, a sign from the gods, we'll follow the crows.
Yes.
The crows led you off the trail that you were following, and you have since picked up what might be a different trail. You're not sure.
Mhm.
Okay. So we have
Oh,
a
okay.
trail. It's not the same one, or
Yes.
might not be the same one. We don't really know. for sure.
Yeah, I was.
There's still
I
knows.
thought it was the same trail. So
Yeah, I realized that I didn't articulate that well
we found
last time.
a trail.
Yes. It is the swamp of trails. There are many. We found another one. Kind of like Don't Starve, the roads and how they work. If you ever go off the road and find another road, they might be connected to the one you just left. They might not
Exactly.
be. Yeah.
I
think
never
that's-
lived long
that's
enough
it.
to find a road in that game.
Really?
They're
No.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You need to play
But
co-op
maybe you
with
just
me.
gotta.
I die pretty quick.
You need to play co-op at some point with me because I can show you the ropes, and I don't actually know. I've never been super far because it takes forever. But
Yeah.
I've
I
done
cheated
some
just to
stuff.
find out what you could do in that game.
Oh, there's a
That-
ton
it-
of like high-end stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
And the girl with the lighter, totally OP. Like.
Once I've gotten through my second winter. I think that's the farthest I've gotten.
I'm like really bad at these types of games. So
Yeah.
that's all right.
OP until you burn down a forest and never have any wood again.
I feel like it's a bad thing. You get so much charcoal.
Yeah.
Just go find another forest. They're everywhere. They grow
I
forests.
played all of like 20 minutes of Terraria, and I was abysmal. It was
Terraria's
really
the
bad.
best.
Because like
Terraria
within
is so
30
good.
seconds, apparently there's a guy who's supposed to talk to you, but he died, and then I ended up getting stuck in a cave where people were attacking me or something. So I
That's it.
Edgar Allan Poe'd like closed myself into a cave or something to wait for day
Well,
again or something.
that's
That was
it.
very weird.
Forget Don't Starve. Don't Starve's good. Terraria's better. Just plain up better.
Yeah.
I have. Oh, that's the wrong game. I have 128 hours in Terraria, and I still haven't done everything in terms of the multiple worlds and characters, but still.
Terraria is hard
those few
game,
patches.
100%.
Very, very much so.
Have no interest to install that game again.
It's so good though.
It's
See,
so good.
I started playing it before the guide was even invented. Like, there was no guide implemented.
Yeah.
So, but I
Yeah,
was playing it with like 4 or 5 friends on a group server. We
Yeah.
kind of just helped each
You
other.
guys all
out.
discover stuff together, right?
Like we'd like this one person would discover a recipe, and then we help everybody else in the team, complete the recipe. And it was pretty fun. Playing it by yourself is just nowhere near as good.
I actually really
Mhm.
like playing it by myself.
Oh, now I'll
The
play it by
friends I
myself.
usually play
but-
with,
Yeah.
the friends I usually play with are very like fast paced when it comes to exploring, and so I like to do so at a slower pace.
Sure.
And we're like, oh, okay, here's a chest. What's deeper in this cave? Oh, here's another chest. Oh, here's this thing. Here's this thing. But they all very much sort of like go gung ho with.
Yeah.
Well, that's the great
Oh, look,
thing
there's
is that
checks. I'll pick through that later.
you can have your own world and just visit their world when you want to. Like the
Mhm.
multiplayer in that game is very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause you
and,
can
like-
separate character in the world.
And like once you get the ball rolling in Terraria, it picks up a lot.
I highly recommend it, Sith. It actually turns from a
Okay.
survival MMO into like kind of there are like boss battles and stuff and not just a few. There's like 10 or 12 bosses in there now that are
Yeah.
very much
Okay.
the style of
You might even like it if you
Um,
played an
platform.
older version of the game.
platformer boss battles. That's what it's like.
A version of what game?
An older version of Terraria,
Oh,
like the really early versions, were a lot easier to learn.
Were they? I thought like the guide
Yeah.
and stuff now helps.
Like they made lighting a lot harder. They made a lot of things like, you know how they have gold sinks in World of Warcraft. They put in a lot of gold sinks and time sinks into the game,
Oh, when did they
and
do
that makes it harder to pick up as a new player, in my opinion.
Okay. Did not know. Is this in the last couple patches? Because I played it before then and found it to be fine. Oh, and maybe I'm just too used to it. You are correct. But they are also missing a bunch of features, like entire biomes. Even with the later versions? Oh. Okay. And okay. That's pretty sweet then. Yeah. Let me sort game. Actually, I don't even need to. I know what game I've played. Spend the most time in. XCOM. XCOM 1. I have it. I do have it installed. That is a good whopping 594 hours.
That you'll never get back.
XCOM, especially with the Long War mod, is an amazing game. I've beaten it normal. I've beaten it classic. I've beaten it Iron Man. Then actually I've never beaten it Long War because it just takes so freaking long. That's true to its name. I eventually, like, my technology reaches the point where, like, okay, I'm doing okay, and then I kind of get bored. Where they have options for the aliens to keep up with you. In the base games, like, if you're gaining technology, you start off on the, like, really, basically you start off kind of screwed compared to the technology the aliens have. And then you slowly get better and better. But in this, it's like, oh, the aliens have upgrades that they can research too, and the aliens have extra stuff in Long War. So it's always a race, but it's ridiculously forever to do things. Missions are more often, but yeah, it's still a very good game and a very good mod. I don't know why, but I still like it better than XCOM 2. I don't know. I think that's because I'm too used to the Long War mod compared to XCOM 2. XCOM 2 is better than the base XCOM game for sure, but I'm not used to the base XCOM game anymore. I'm used to something special. Sorry? No, I was just talking a bit more quietly. Let me upgrade my... My volume was turned down. Hold on. How is this? Wait, no, that's my speakers. Never mind. Yeah, I'm already at max. Never mind. Okay.
All right. Do we want to talk about the questions that Zen gave us about our character backgrounds?
Yeah, I think that'd be good. It's knowledge to the players right now, so I think it'd be cool for the audience to know it. In addition,
Okay. Sure.
okay. Scroll up to them, unless then you already have them all written down and stuff.
Yes, I do actually.
Oh, okay.
My notes.
Was that the doorbell, or was that the doorbell on the TV?
Everybody drink. I had to go through my tabs all the way through again. All right. So yeah, the first question I had was to Aenor.
Yes.
You had an enemy named Joan Arkborn, and I wanted to inquire how they became your enemy.
Yes. And my answer was simply that I may have accidentally spoke heresy in front of her, or not in front of her, but kind of in front while I was in the middle of the Stayminster. So that may have gotten my friend. She killed a companion of mine who was traveling with me at the time, another elf who went out with me for the same mission. I managed to escape. And she was at the time, I think it was about 15 years ago, so not long ago by elf standards. She was like a young, zealous, like sort of newly appointed like temple guard, or however it would work. It is still a town, so I guess just a guard. And she was the one who like heard it, who reported it, and everything like that. She sort of pushed that forward and kind of took it personally that I managed to escape. So that was about 15 years ago. So that is why I think it's more she wants me dead than I want her dead. But if I come across her, I will still take the chance to kill her because she kind of killed my friend. Yeah. The like sort of details on me speaking heresy about that is sort of the elf beliefs versus the beliefs of the people of Stayminster, which and like the whole lords thing. I maybe without thinking argued that perhaps the entirety of the concept of lords is merely just an extension of the elven concept of the song. The song that elves believe in and can hear is sort of based off of the Wind on Fire young adult book series I read when I was a teenager. Basically, a thing's song is like sort of its essence, effect, but it's somehow audible. It's unusual, and I actually looked up, and there isn't like a Wikipedia entry for this book series. It was kind of old, so it was before every single IP had a Wikipedia.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
The internet doesn't have information on something?
Yeah, I know.
Wow. I think it falls to you to create that Wikipedia entry now. I mean, that's your job.
Yeah, you are now the leading expert on this book series.
Yeah,
Like
there's a social contract here that you were in violation of, my friend.
The books are there. The books are everywhere, but there's an actual Wikipedia about the books.
Okay.
There's a fan fiction archive and a Tumblr archive, so it's somewhat popular. Just no one has actually, made a thing. Yeah. So I think that Aenor is going to be a bit more careful talking about the lords in general around Elias, just a tad, in case he gets, and I think he might get a bit more uppity. This also might be one of the reasons why, I don't know, it's probably a contributing factor as to the seeming friction between the just elves in general and Stimminster.
Okay.
Yeah. 15 years is a fairly long time by human standards, and so I think other things might have happened afterwards, or just things might have evolved, like beliefs about elves in that place might have evolved since then.
Right.
I don't believe that Aenor has ever gone back since.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah. Or did. He doesn't know what she's up to now. He just knows at the time she was a temple guard.
Okay.
She's probably risen up the ranks, but maybe she's gone off hunting, adventuring. So, yeah.
She's
run into
human,
her.
right?
She is the yes. I think she would be human.
Maybe she's
And
dead.
Maybe she's the end boss of this dungeon. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
That's my answer to my question.
So my next question was to Maud, and it was more about dwarven life at first. Can all dwarves leave Kisdom? Yeah, I can't even pronounce my own word here. Kisdamunds. It's the dwarven halls. Or is it left to the merchant caste to deal with the outside world?
I basically went with yes. Dwarves can leave Kismandun, but they're not real dwarves. Like, they become outcasts, and I kind of took this from like the Burning Wheel idea, where adventurers are like the lowest of the low. They're like on the same rank as like cowards and drunkards and thieves. When you become an adventurer, you're just not very well regarded in dwarven society. So yeah, I think there's more outcasts outside of the dwarven halls than inside. And like, it's just like, imagine like there's this one city of dwarves, and everyone that's not in the city of dwarf is not considered a real dwarf. Like, there's some exceptions, obviously. Like, when you send your army out to smash the elves, you don't want to like accidentally outcast your entire army. Or when you send a shipment of swords and buy all the diamonds, you don't want to have all your merchants become outcasts. But if you don't have a good reason for being outside of the dwarven halls, it's bad.
Yeah. If you like move out basically instead of just temporarily leave or take a vacation.
Right.
Actually, I have a few questions. Oh.
And my follow-up question to that was Maud still considered a real dwarf in the halls?
And yeah, I think that I don't think that I think the outcasts are like invisible. Like dwarves don't talk about outcasts. So some people who know Maud like will not realize that she's an adventurer. But somewhere, there's a tablet, some carved in stone that says what she's done. I think that she's actually like
Okay.
she's actually overheard some secret related to like her Dwarven Chronicles rise, and that's why she's been outcast. But I haven't decided what that is.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm curious. Like, is it like, do the dwarves, since more of them live outside of this city than in it, do these dwarves that live outside see themselves as dwarves still? And also, what about dwarves who do not become adventurers? Are they different?
How do you mean dwarves that do not become adventurers?
Like you said, you talked about like becoming an outcast and becoming an
Mhm.
adventurer sort of simultaneously. What about like dwarf merchants or like people who just leave, but like become like a cobbler in a human town or something?
I
Are
mean, I
they
think
any
if
different?
you become a cobbler, like then you're an outcast.
Just in general?
Yeah, like if you're not
Ouch.
like based out of the Dwarven home city, then there's a problem. Like maybe like some merchants or some like they have guard posts probably that are outside the Dwarven halls. Like maybe they get a special exemption.
Okay. It reminds me a lot of Orzammar from Dragon Age.
Like
Yeah.
they're
Sort of.
expected to keep quiet about how many outcasts there are.
Okay.
People inside the Dwarven halls do not realize that there are more dwarves that are outcasts than the actual dwarves.
Does this city have some fascist tones to it then? If there's like sort of some.
I mean, there
Some,
always is in fantasy, isn't there? Like the Great
Yeah.
King has taken this woman as to his bed before she's married, and no one bats an eye because that's just how things are.
Prima Nocta is a thing.
Yeah. So yeah, like I mean, there's definitely like not modern
I've
day
not heard of
morality
this. That
going
sounds
on,
weird.
but they don't see it that way because it's part of their culture.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. I think next I asked Elias if he remembered what happened to his parents. Like, why is he an orphan? How did that come about?
Yeah. I think I replied that like his parents were killed when he was still a young age, through a raid of some sort, and after that he was sort of led towards the abbey or monastery at Stemminster, where he sort of was raised proper, and has very few memories and very few uh, material things from before Stemminster. So yeah.
Is it just the young age that makes you not remember, or was it perhaps like some very traumatic thing?
Yeah, is there like a thing that they do to try and make you not remember?
Or is it
Or do you
just
wanna
that
leave
you
it?
witnessed something so horrific that like
Yeah.
little Elias just buried it?
There's probably a few repressed memories there, but also he was probably under 5 at the time,
It's
so
not. Yeah. He can't.
there's just not much there, and it was all very different from his life in Stemminster. So
Cool.
Okay.
You had a follow-up question, right, Zen?
No, that was my follow up.
But I thought I remember Sith mentioning who killed his parents or what he remembers. Is that true?
I don't have it in my notes.
maybe I don't
Okay.
quite remember.
No, I have for some reason I have it in my head, and this could be totally wrong. That you. Oh no, that I was thinking about your enemy, which
Yeah.
was also an Elf Ranger. So I assumed that, but no. If you didn't remember, that wouldn't make sense. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
And last we go to Alana, and who has demonstrated a rather cut and dry motive or motivation. What happened in your life that drives you to pull steel first and ask questions later? Like what is what drives you to just kill things instead of parlay?
Well, before I became an adventurer, not too long before, mind you, I was working as some kind of muscle for a kind of a piratey situation over in what's it called? The city I'm from.
Lauresia?
Yeah, Lauresia. Now, during that little business venture, a crewmate started getting real flaky, right? And I trust, like, all right, we're gonna get through this. Just keep your head down, stay calm, and then after we're done, you can take your cut and fuck off, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right?
You negotiated.
So, yeah. I mean, he squealed. He was bound to happen. As soon as he got off the boat, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but he told some things and got my employers in trouble. Now, they knew I was close with this individual, so they came to talk to me about it. I ended up telling them what happened, squealed on a squealer. But he got taken care of. And they were a little bit easier on me, right? Like, they didn't take a hand or my tongue or anything. But I had acquired myself kind of a general reputation as someone you don't want to be doing business with in that line of work, right? Like, I'm the person that protects squealers, apparently.
Okay.
So I was just like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Howdy. I'm here.
Okay. Nice. So I want to make sure, or maybe we could just purposely leave that in the dark for now. Was it something illegal, and the squealing was to the authorities,
Yeah.
or was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was total crime business.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for upholding the adage that snitches get stitches. It's good to know that it holds true here just as anywhere else.
And also that any crime or whatever crime this was will be dealt with severing of body parts
Yes.
Well,
by the guards.
I'll be fine.
Yep, we're not criminals. We're just adventurers. We have no rights.
Yeah, you're worse than criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Criminals.
here because I got kicked out of being a criminal.
Yeah. I failed out of criminal school. Dropped out.
All right, so that's a little glimpse into character background.
Yeah.
Do we want to jump into bits and then finish up the conflict from
Yeah.
last time?
Yeah, sure.
With that.
All right.
Jump into bits sounds dirty.
Well, there's
Actually,
Bigs
it's big.
now.
It's big
Well, it's
now.
bigs
It's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no
Jump into
That's-
bigs.
yeah.
I mean, I guess we
jump a
do
big-
have traits, though.
We do actually have traits. We just don't announce them.
Yeah, and we don't get Eartha from it.
They are purely beneficial. Well, not true.
No.
Well, they're
No.
They're either used for better dice or checks.
they're
which-
beneficial or optionally beneficial. They're beneficial either short term or long term. One of the two.
They're beneficial to the GM.
They're beneficial. Just you have to be imaginative with how they're beneficial. Checks are beneficial.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
All
we
right,
should
so
have more checks.
all the checks.
So,
All right, so who wants to go first with your belief, instinct, and goal?
I'll go.
Sure.
The only thing I changed from last session is my belief. Alana and Aonor have shown a propensity towards rash thinking. I will do my best to lessen their aftermath and consequences, both to themselves and others.
wait, how me? I'm legitimately curious.
You're an elf. It just
Okay, yeah, I accept that
You're
answer.
an elf. It's just typical Stemminster racism. That's all it is.
I mean, he's not wrong. I am an elf.
Well, when they don't even have the common decency of covering their face in public, it's just like,
Yeah,
what
it's because
else?
elf faces are so beautiful.
What-
It's like it's.
Wait
yeah.
a minute. Because Aenor has a beard, do you consider that better or worse than your
That's
regular
true.
elf?
I do have a beard, so it is technically it might always be covered.
Or is he like some kind of race traitor that's just trying to look more human?
Yeah, he's a pretender.
Yeah,
Pretender human.
yeah. I think it's one of those like incognito things.
Very
or something.
human poser.
Yeah, I see those ears. You can't trick me.
Next thing you know, he was gonna try and find a human woman to like, marry off or something and have kids and stuff, and so like they could somehow be all
Or the
together. And no,
half-elves.
that's not a thing. You still have to go back to your own land.
Burn the half elves.
Yes. Elias is hella racist, by the way.
It should be fun.
What does your holy symbol look like, Elias? I'm just wondering what's going to be flaming on Aenor's front lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What will be branded onto my corpse when I inevitably die when you refuse to save me?
I think it's something like 3 crowns, like vertical, next to a huge scepter, as representative of the lords in general.
Nice.
But that was my belief. My goal is still the same. I must find these bandits' place of rest, because we're still trying to find the bandits that have been attacking wagons and merchants on the roads. And my instinct, I'm keeping the same, just to see how it's camp phase. Always update my maps when we camp.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I guess I could go next. I've been talking a bit. Aenor the Elf Ranger. My belief, none of mine have changed. So they're the same as last session. I figured I'll keep them the same after looking at them. My belief is there is no true knowledge, no true sight, and no true hearing without the eternal symphony, which is basically the elf thing for like the world song, or all the everything song put together is what they call the eternal symphony or the world song. So it's just sort of like the name for their belief in that whole thing. My goal is the Song of the Bandit Slayer may tell me more information of the dissonance I hear from the swamp. I'll find and listen to it. And my instinct is always cook a meal for the party when we make camp, because I went to cooking school. Yeah.
Okay. The only thing I changed was my goal. My new goal, I think, is I will convince my cohorts negotiation will not solve this bandit issue.
Oh, okay, the larger one. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. My new goal is trade these shoddy baubles for the Knoll's ancestral homelands. I'm going to try and buy the swamp.
Okay, yeah. That sounds very dwarfy.
He's gonna give his 30 guilders for the Isle of Knoll, and then force all the Knolls onto a reservation and give them
Wow.
pox blankets.
Right. Yeah. I was like, no, you don't sell them mirrors. You sell them blankets, right?
Yeah.
Well, the GM specifically
Well,
asked
no,
me
you sell them.
not to
You
have-
sell them nice shoes because it's a swamp. It's not that cold, but their feet are getting it.
Well, see, it's going to be a multi-step thing. We'll see how it works out. But I have
Okay, what you need to do is fill the mirrors with disease. They're nobles. They're bound to break them.
Yeah.
Well, see, maybe I can get Elias to curse the mirrors so that whoever looks inside them becomes overcome by greed and a murderous.
And
Or
if
the
that doesn't
mirrors.
work, you can always introduce dwarven mead into Knoll culture and turn them into alcoholics.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
I don't know. I have dwarven meat may kill non-dwarves. It may be so strong.
It's just made out of
Even
dirt.
better.
They figured out how to ferment dirt. That's all they did.
Yep.
I mean, there's some
No one likes
stone
the
in
taste.
there.
But it is charcoal filtered dirt, so
Yeah, yeah.
pretty
Mm.
pure.
Got plenty
We've
of
been using
iron.
the same stone casks for like 10,000 years.
Yeah, it's like your best cast iron pan, but then like multiply it by 100 or
Yeah.
so.
So my belief is still everyone deserves the freedom to make their own way in life. I may get mode breaker on this, but I'm not going to change it. Instinct is always scout for danger.
Everybody's free to do what they want, except for those gnolls, because I'm going to take their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're free to do what they want, but
They're
I
free
can
to
tell
sell
I
me
can
all their
make them.
stuff. I mean, that's
Well,
how
I
the
mean-
rule of land works. Uh-oh, I can't.
For the meantime, the group is just strategizing what they want to do.
Yes.
I think a first action attack has pretty much been decided at this point.
And feints, right? You can't really
Yeah.
do anything else. Okay.
Right.
Maybe a attack, then maneuver, then a defend. So that defend, when it does restore HP, would restore extra if we get bonus dice from maneuver, and the maneuver itself will still reduce damage from the second attack, presumably, assuming we get one. Do you want to do that? Elias attacks, then Alana maneuvers, then I defend, which is mostly what we've been doing already in terms of who does what.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what we were doing. We'll place the cards face up because there's no point in not. What? 5'9"? Okay. I got asked how tall I was for some reason.
That's never a good random question. We're setting up the trap. How tall are you?
Yep.
Hey, we're building a coffin. How tall are you?
Let's solve this. This is probably the end of this conflict.
Okay.
Lay him on the table. Ah.
All right.
All right. So, what does your attack look like? What is your point here?
Right. So I think if I recall, the gnolls in the previous were like pretty much all on attack of like, no, you are good to eat and all this stuff.
Being very aggressive, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Basically, they're continued making the point that your blood will heal our friend faster than a cleric could.
Oh, I
Right.
didn't know that. That's actually kind of cool physiologically.
So I think Elias is like, no, bad taste, because this is also Elias is talking to the gnolls through weird goblin
Yeah.
speak, and so it's
Mhm.
very punctuated and not very
Not well articulated. Just hitting the main
yes,
points.
not well articulate. Yes, just hitting the main points. And so it's like like, no, bad tasting. And then he like points over at Aenor and is like, elf, like like almost like you would sick up. He like makes that sort of like motion.
Okay.
Figured
And-
cause hairball.
Yes. Yeah, and then I think is Alana wearing armor?
Alana, you are wearing leather
armor.
So
Leather armor. Okay. I think he then points to like Alana's armor and his shield and like knocks on it and goes, "Too crunchy," type thing of like, we're trying to say like we're way too much work.
yeah.
And I think
Okay.
that's sort of what he's trying to do with convincing.
All right. I think in response to that, I think there is sort of to the effect of I think they point around to the swamp, like, and the general gist of what they're saying is there's no good food here. You're like the first big meaty thing to come along. Yeah, swamp stuff is all like salamanders and
Yeah.
frogs. They're sick of it.
Well, that's a good argument.
Yeah.
Good point. I give up.
Good point. Okay, yeah, eat us. Yep.
All right, so I will roll their dice first. Greater than 4. Looks like they got 4 successes.
Nice. But and only one of them is up right now, right? One of them's out.
Oh, that's yes, that's correct.
So 3 successes if you remove the last die.
No, they have not been helping each other.
Oh, they haven't.
No.
Okay. The fools. Okay.
Okay. Was anyone helping me?
I'm helping. I think that. Let's see. What do I have? I have nothing. How do I help say that I'm not good to eat? I can't actually think of a way because I'm not wearing armor and I only have a dagger on me, so I don't look very threatening. I might not. I can't think of a way I can help, other than saying I just taste bad. But you kind of already did.
You have rations in your pack. Not that I'm trying to help you, but just saying you can offer them an alternative.
Yeah, no.
He's like, no. They get
I'm a
nothing
cook.
and like it.
Yeah.
How do you smell? When's the last time you bathed?
I'm an elf, but I'm also a ranger. So I don't know if those two cancel out and I smell normal, or if I
No,
always...
you've never bathed in your life. You smell like nature.
Yeah, exactly. It's my pungent aroma. No wonder humans don't like elves. They stink. I love that. Let's do that. Elves always stink horribly.
The song you follow is the call of nature.
But elves themselves don't consider it stinky. But yeah, everyone else basically does.
It's just our elven musk.
Yeah. So that I think that I make a show of sniffing my under my armpit and retching.
Okay, cool.
I can help too if I can. I can help.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, with manipulator. Yeah, you can
All right.
totally help.
Well, I have big, sharp, and shiny in hand, so I think that almost speaks for itself, huh?
You're just making threatening motions, it's similar to eating something spiny. Like you're just gonna
you'll get
catch
splinters
it,
in your mouth.
It'll catch in your throat. Like
Yeah, like fish bones.
Yeah. Bad. I mean, it's longer than they are. Swallow it. I dare you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right.
How does Artha work again? There's not a quick thing on.
Oh, I didn't put what you can spend it on. Well, I'm stupid.
Oh no, like on the actual Roll20 character sheet. There might be a handout
somewhere, but not next to the other one.
Yeah, I think I just put what rewards it. So there are a couple of ways. You can spend Artha to, of course, explode 6s. We're used to that.
Yep.
The fate, typical thing. Let me get to the rewards chapter.
I'm asking because right now I only have 4 dice. So depending on that, I might just throw in a trait and be like, well, yeah, we're not hitting it anyway, so I'm going to get some more checks.
Right. Here we go. Rewards. So you can spend a fate for luck. You can spend a fate for deeper understanding, which is reroll any single failed dice on a test related to your wise.
Okay.
You can spend persona to give yourself +1 die to a roll. You can do that up to 3 times on any roll. You can tap your nature by spending persona, which means if you're acting within your nature or not, you can add your entire nature score to a roll. And you can also spend a persona point for the of course thing, which is re-rolling all failed dice on a test related to your wise. And
It
that's
sounds like
about
then
it.
Sounds then like I'm just gonna be hoping for some sixes.
Well, what's your
I-
nature as a human?
You can boast as
Oh,
a human.
well, I only have one persona, and I don't really want to use it.
Okay. Persona, by the way, does not work like in Burning Wheel, where it's going to save you from death.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
saying, like there's
Yeah. It's up to you, but
Hmm. Yeah. I don't think I want to spend a persona.
okay.
If some sixes come up, I will spend a fate though.
Sounds good.
But right now it's 4 dice against an op 4.
Yeah.
So
Plus one
I'm
from fresh.
I'm heavily considering.
Plus 1 die from fresh.
Yeah, you are still
Oh,
fresh.
I forgot about fresh. Okay. That's a little better of an idea then. Okay. Hopefully it's not a total fail.
I mean, can you decide to tap your
Not-
nature after you roll?
No, tapping
No.
your nature must be done before you roll.
Right.
And I don't think that, unless you're boasting of how awful we are to eat, I don't know if it would make sense in this case.
Well, you can use your nature
Oh,
on anything.
yeah, you
It
can tap
just,
your
that
nature.
just
Yeah.
depends on when it's taxed or how severely
How?
it's taxed.
Yeah, that's true.
On a success even.
Correct.
No penalty.
Nope.
Oh, hey, there's a 6.
There's a 6.
Oh,
We're almost tied.
Shit.
Damn it.
No dice. All right, so it'll roll into the next action.
We're gonna get a plus 1 die.
Yes, they will get a +1 die. Flip.
Flip. Everything's flipped.
All right, so I think yeah, as far as the gnolls are concerned, they're I'm trying to come up with a better point than just we're hungry and we want to eat you, but
Right.
really I
I
think
mean-
that they would just stick with that.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
don't
they're
need a better
gnolls.
point.
What
Yeah.
other point could they possibly have?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is
Like,
going
we
to
have a
cause them to
fire
again.
right here, and the fire is going to go out if you don't get in it right now.
I think they're going to be repeating themselves.
Okay.
Which with the +1 still only gives them 3 dice. Yes. So because they've been repeating themselves quite a bit.
Remember,
One stinking success.
Ooh, nice. Remember, we do have that nice macro to like
Yeah.
add up all of our stuff.
Mhm.
All right. So
That's including the extra die from maneuver? Or was that
Yeah,
a -1
because-
die to us?
No, that's a +1 for them. But they've been repeating themselves. Last time they said that we are hungry and we want to eat you. It was 3d6, and they just repeated themselves again.
Okay.
So I
Right.
either need to get more imaginative, or I'm going to lose a lot more dice.
yeah. Okay. Am I getting any help?
What are you saying first?
Well, yeah, like what are you doing?
Okay.
We can try to help.
Maneuver.
Sort of a more of a cunning, have them walk into their own blunder type of thing. I have some ideas, if you want any.
Yeah. Hit me.
I was thinking that you like ask them how good their chieftain is, and like how good is he at leading them, and then they're like, yeah, he's the best, and so then you're like, oh, then surely he is totally feeding you with all of the food that he's taken from our supplies, right? And sort of like a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Where they're like, they realize
Right.
something.
That's
Yeah,
a
there could
good
be some
idea.
sort of maneuver of like, what do you mean there hasn't been any good food in the swamp for a while? You guys have been
Yeah.
fighting the bandits for weeks. You know,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
an
yeah.
interesting maneuver.
Yeah, I think I actually give details. I think I had one. I probably helped by taking out one of the knoll arrows that we found. The one I remembered from and kept. I probably kept it. So I take it out and just say, yes, we found this at your campsite at one of the attack sites. I believe it's yours. Your people should be well fed. That was carrying many rations of grain and meat.
And a whole horse.
2, I believe, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you both help him?
Yeah, like and I think I'm like, yes, 2 whole dead horses. Like, not hungry for that. Like, more meat than us.
Okay.
So yes, I'm helping.
What's the ob?
One.
Job is 1.
I think you're a fresh
Yeah.
as well. Whoa,
Yeah.
those 6s too.
Okay.
Nice. So if you want to spend fate, you can re-roll those 6s if you have fate.
Yep,
To
because you
try
don't
to get
level
more
up unless you
successes.
spend stuff, and fate is somewhat less precious than persona.
I'll hold off.
Well,
For now.
well, this is where the extra successes can come in.
Yeah, because right
because
now
this
you
is a
have
maneuver.
right now you have enough. Let me pop this up for you.
We would get 2 extra dice, right?
Yeah, you would gain position and get 2 extra dice. Yes.
Which is useful, but I am defending, which isn't that useful.
Yeah,
And
like
disarming isn't a thing, right? In this,
Right.
for us
We haven't
conversation.
actually taken any damage, so our next attack is gonna be nil pretty much,
Mhm.
Mhm.
unless they attack again.
Yeah, which they might. But yeah,
Yeah, so
I don't think it's worth it to spend a fate for this.
yeah, I don't think so either because they're going to be defending. Like maybe if it was an attack next, but
Because
yeah.
margin of success is we can impede -1 to whatever they do next action,
hmm
or margin of success is of 2. We can gain position with a +2 advantage to our next one,
Yeah,
which doesn't matter as much
yeah.
unless
And-
we get into a versus and
I
then
would
it just
rather choose the -1 to theirs over the +2 to ours, because if they are also defending, we don't want them to regain as much health.
well 2 defends are
2 defends.
independent.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want them to regain as
Oh,
much
that's
by
where the
applying a
-1,
-1
okay.
die.
Yeah.
And if
Okay.
if you're defending independently, the ob is 3 to recover.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Just so you know.
All right. So yeah, 3 successes. Everyone cool with that?
just gonna do. Can you do multiple -1s from like splitting it up?
No.
So yeah, I think if we're all good, then we're gonna do the -1 to theirs.
-1 to theirs. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I don't even remember what this action is for me. Oh, look at
Oh look,
that.
it's a defend. Okay. You said what I was gonna say on the maneuver, which makes sense. But the defend is against them eating us, so I don't want them to eat us. So I think what do I say? I think I say, we've been traveling for hours through the swamp. We are covered in filth and water and squelching in our boots and shoes. We are sweaty. We are at our worst. We do not. Actually, you know what he says? I think he will say that he is feeling ill from. He might be covered with many diseases that an immune system as unfamiliar with the swamp as him would not be able to combat. And so I think
Yeah,
he's
we're
making the point that
full
he
of
would have.
worms.
Yeah, we're diseased meat. We did not get our vaccines before entering the swamp. So that's basically what he says.
Okay. Yeah, I think at this point the Knolls switch tack a little bit to defend their position of we need to kill and eat you. And yeah, I think they start saying like well, you're obviously intruders in the swamp. Humans don't come this far, and we've been told any intruders need to be removed. And killing and eating you is a very efficient way of removing you.
I guess we'll just roll independently since it doesn't matter. It's both.
Yep.
It's all 3 for both.
Yep.
Am I being helped?
They do.
And if so,
they
how?
do not recover anything.
Nice.
Am I being helped?
Yeah.
Does it matter if I'm being helped? We're at max, so I'm not actually going to roll because it literally doesn't matter.
This is correct.
So, okay.
I'm helping anyway.
Everybody helps. All right. Rid of those, and we'll get rid of your cards as well. And
Okay.
Man,
choose new cards.
All right, so nothing was accomplished.
nothing was nothing
Nope.
was accomplished. Literally nothing changed. A lot of things almost changed and then didn't change. So your method didn't work. Do you guys want to try my method now? Technically, it's gloating if it didn't work.
Technically, it's loading.
Yeah, all right, sure.
Okay. You put your cards down, so we're going to do maneuver, attack, and then attack again, I think, because I just want to finish this off now.
Okay.
So who wants to do the first attack? I think that Elias and myself are both the same in terms of skill. I'll do the first attack because that'll probably be most likely where we'll take damage for disposition. So since it's my idea, I'll take that. And then Elias, you do the second attack if that's good.
Right. So maneuver, attack, attack.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm deleting this extra card on the table. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
All right. Well, they're defending. And
Yeah.
maneuvering.
Those are independent, right? Yes.
Yes, they are
Versus.
independent.
They are versus?
Against,
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yes.
no.
No,
Yes.
defend against maneuver is a versus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maneuver versus defense is versus. Yes, it's a versus test.
Versus test. What are they saying?
They are saying. Yeah, I think they're starting to get impatient, and you can kind of tell. And I think they're going to let something slip a little bit, and they say, "You are too close to our homelands. If you get past us and anyone sees you, it's our asses anyway. So you
Okay.
need to be stopped here."
Oh, we're close to your homelands. Then this won't take very long at all. We'll be right out of your hair in no time. We're not going to tell anyone, of course, because we'll likely, if we get seen by anyone as, if they are as stubborn as you, they may kill and eat us if they are not smart. But you're not them. I'm not talking. Why am I talking? It's not actually my
Yeah,
move.
I know. Like, I was wondering.
I'm dumb.
Yeah, all right. What he just said. Also,
I'm dumb. I'm sorry.